We back, baby, with players getting signed to teams they should have been signed a long time ago, a surprising retirement, and new camera angles, but not until. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Tackle Talk Network. I know it's been a little bit, it's been a couple weeks since I've had to record one of these, and I'm excited that I'm back. Hello there, and I am excited to record another episode for you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that there are a lot more of you turning. I hope there's a lot more of you tuning in more than usual. That always helps out the algorithm. Now, with that being said, let's jump into some NFL news. To kick things off, finally, Aaron Rodgers signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is a total one-year deal. As you can see on your screen, it is a one-year deal with a base signing of $10,000. That's basically the big signing. He's got over $500,000 and he can make in incentives with that $10 million signing. His base salary is going to be $3.6 million, and he's only going to take up 5% of the Steelers' cap. So, all in all, it's actually a great move here by the Pittsburgh Steelers to bring him in, especially because he just, he's an old-timer. He's got the experience, and they need that experience in that quarterback room. You can see the other incentives in the bottom left of your screen in the previous graphic. Up next, Aaron Rodgers also had this to say about what was so big about joining the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Part of it, yeah. I mean, I liked Arthur. Obviously, I've known Tom forever. A big attraction was Mike Tomlin. I've gone against him over the years. The way that the conversations went between him and I, between whatever it was in March or April, and the last Sunday when I called him was some of the coolest conversations I've had in the game. Definitely with the head coach. So he's a big reason I'm here. I believe in him and excited to play for him.
Some people even think, because the NFL tweeted this out, that he looks good in number 8 in the black and gold for the Pittsburgh Steelers, wearing sweet old number 8. Up next, we have Nick Chubb signing a one-year, $2.5 million deal with $2.5 million as well in incentives for the Houston Texans. A lot of Cleveland Browns fans hated to see him go, but it was about time. They got Quinshon Judkins and a couple other good running backs back in that running back room for the Cleveland Browns, and it was just time to move on from Nick Chubb. I mean, this man is still playing in the NFL at a semi-high level, I'd hope, for this season, because he snapped both of his knees. This man shouldn't be walking, and yet he's playing football. It is amazing. Nick Chubb's story is fantastic when you hear about it. Up next, Jaire Alexander gets released from the Packers. Apparently, there was a dispute between him and his agent trying to get something done with the Packers. They couldn't reach an agreement, obviously. They were trying to restructure his deal for a one-year contract that would get him released next offseason, but instead, he chose to be released now. After the draft and everything, I feel for you, Packers fans. With that being said, Frank Ragnow also retired from the NFL. Yeah, you heard that right. Retired. Straight up retirement. At the age of 29. Very big surprise retirement here from the center of the former team that he played for, which was the Detroit Lions. This comes as a surprise to most, but not a surprise to his family. Him saying, quote, "I want to preserve my body for other things to do with my life." You could say that that's a very good reason for him to retire. Andrew Luck did the similar thing back in the day. Up next, we have the Broncos earlier today signing J.K. Dobbins to a one-year deal. Apparently, J.K. Dobbins had been visiting the Denver Broncos earlier this week and passed his physical and is now going to be signing with the Denver Broncos. This is a great signing, I think, for the Broncos because they need as much rushing attack as humanly possible. With that being said, up next, I got to talk about a little bit of minicamp, drama. Of course, why not? OTAs just passed, And during OTAs, he had crazy things like the Giants getting into fights and a lot of crazy different things. But there's a lot of different storylines going into the minicamp period of the NFL that we need to cover. And 4 players specifically. We have Terry McLaurin, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, and Trey Hendrickson. All 4 of these superstar players are holding out for contracts. When you have that many people holding out for contracts, you've got a problem, okay? You got a problem. Here's my solution for said problem. Pay them. Pay them. Pay them or get rid of them. Pay them or trade them. That's what my motto is. If you don't pay them, trade them. If you don't want to pay them, then trade them. If you don't want to trade them, then pay them, by golly. First, you got Terry McLaurin, absolute stallion of a receiver, and he needs to stay on the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have the cap space. Sign the freaking wide receiver. I know that there have been teams in the past who, once they have the rookie quarterback and they show success, they sign that wide receiver or that superstar wide receiver. I'm looking at you, Bengals. And then they continue to have a little success and then drop off from there. With that being said, I think that the Commanders really do need to invest in Terry McLaurin and get this man paid. Up next, you got TJ Watt, also a no-brainer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you just signed Aaron Rodgers, and you have several other key defensive players on the roster that you want to keep around for years to come, but TJ Watt has to be one of those. Former Defensive Player of the Year, keep in mind, TJ Watt has had tons of sacks and tons of production for the Steelers in the last couple of years, and he needs to stay a Pittsburgh Steeler. I mean, if he doesn't, then come on over to the Chiefs. Up next, Micah Parsons, the third player on my list of people that have been holding out of minicamp. By the way, you can actually get fined for that, or maybe minicamp is not mandatory. I don't know. Every club has their different rules. Regardless, Micah Parsons with the Cowboys, they're kind of in a tough situation. They're going to have one of the highest paid wide receivers, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, taking up a total of over 60% of the cap space. That is not great. I mean, you look at what the Steelers just did. They just signed Aaron Rodgers for only 5% of the cap space, which is absolutely insane. Micah Parsons, he's going to take a big paycheck, but he's worth it. Let me tell you. He's been working his tail off for this kind of a paycheck, and hopefully he gets it from the Cowboys, because the Cowboys need to keep that man. If not, Jerry Jones is probably going to have to cough up even more money if he doesn't sign him right now, and he's going to have to end up trying to restructure contracts, and somebody's going to have to go out the door. All right, now this next situation has been going on for quite a while. You have Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals also getting denied a contract extension. This man had 17 and a half sacks for not one, no, not just one, but 2 of the last 2 seasons. Both of the last 2 seasons, he's had 17 and a half sacks. That is crazy. Only man in the NFL currently to do that. With that being said, Trey Hendrickson needs to get paid. He's banging on the table like, I need money. I need money. But with that being said, Trey Hendrickson should get paid from the Cincinnati Bengals. If he does not get paid in the next month, I'm assuming that the Bengals are planning on trading this guy somewhere else. And granted, he is up there in age a little bit. I covered this in a past episode. Go back and watch it. I highly encourage it. It's a great episode to go back and watch. Now, with all things being considered and being said, today was my 20th episode. 20th episode. So I'm going to do another hot take for you guys. I told you I'd be every 5 or 10 episodes. Well, this time it's for another good hot take. Now, I've just got to think about it for just a second because I haven't really thought about it yet. All right, my hot take is this. The Carolina Panthers win the South. I said it. That's my hot take. Carolina Panthers win the South. Do I really think that it's going to happen? Probably not. But with that being said, the Carolina Panthers have made a lot of moves this past offseason to ensure that they're at least not going to be bottom of the division. So I think, my hot take, Carolina Panthers go 10-7. and they win the South. There you go. That's my hot take for this episode. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and go back and watch some of the rest of my content. You guys, I've got thousands of views on shorts. If y'all would just come and just, skip through the video a couple times, I would have tons more views, and that way I can start making a little bit of this, and that would help me out a ton, and that would actually help me help you guys, bring you guys some better content in the future. But that's all I have for now. I hope you guys stay safe and keep watching my content. Go back and watch a previous video. You can click right here or right here, I don't know where it's going to get put, to go watch my last episode that I posted a couple of weeks ago. It's still pretty relevant to now. With that all being said, I know I say that phrase a lot. I should probably put that on my whiteboard back here instead of Jet Jets Washed. Whether you're outside working or you're sitting at home, I appreciate you for tuning in to the Tackle Talk Network, and I'll see you next time.